disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 25-26 NBA season. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube for all things LA sports, LA basketball, and of course, if you're a Clipper fan, the place to be, covering every game. Remember, super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 a dime in the chat. If you're a member of the channel, all your messages will get read. Clipper Nation, live from Los Angeles, as always, after Darius Garland's debut, a 17-point comeback victory for the good guys, and it was a terrible start to the game against a Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler-less Warriors team, but we ended up getting it done, and I'm pretty ecstatic about how it ended up turning out in the end. By the way, the Twitter portion of this live is going to get cut off in about 7 minutes. So at 10 o'clock p.m., it's going to be only YouTube. So come to YouTube. The link is posted on my Twitter. So go move your way onto YouTube before you get shut down. Now, where do I begin? I guess let's talk about the start to the game. Darius Garland, before the game even started, Ty Lue said was going to come off the bench, which I was a little skeptical of that. I understood his reasoning. It was, to get his own lineup and kind of get his own reps and stuff like that, not have to defer to Kawhi and use those minutes as really running the offense through him and getting him up to speed. But I also am thinking to myself, we're going to use Darius Garland with Kawhi eventually. Then we're going to have another adjustment of having him in the starting lineup. Why not just start adjusting to that now? Feels a little bit tedious, but as long as we got the win, it didn't matter to me. And we did get that win. But we didn't start out with the right intensity whatsoever, at all. We came out lazy. We came out late to every loose ball or slower to every loose ball. There were multiple guards on the Warriors crashing the offensive glass, and even our high-effort players like DJ and Chris Dunn were not boxing out, not going for loose balls, and they had a really good strategy. Give them credit. They had Draymond Green starting on Kawhi, because you can't bully Draymond Green like that. Kawhi won't be able to bully him. Al Horford on Brook Lopez, Moses Moody on Kobe Sanders, who started in place of John Collins, who was out on the second night of a back-to-back, which is slightly concerning, and then Pods on Chris Dunn and Melton on DJ. And they were blitzing Kawhi and throwing a lot of doubles at him throughout the game, just kind of making it so that someone else beat them. And then when he didn't have the ball, they were denying the catch for him and then putting pressure on our other guards. So that was really getting us flustered. It was causing turnovers. It was brutal to watch. And that brings me to Darius Garland and Bennedict Mathurin's introduction into the game. DG came in, and oh man, he was rusty. Coming up the floor, just losing the ball when he's trying to drive right, getting poked from behind. Even the first pick and roll he had, he threw it higher than Kobe Sanders' shot pocket, so it kind of eliminated the chance for an open shot. He looked very rusty, very rusty. And we went on an 8-0 run right before they checked in, with Chris Dunn hitting an open three and then Kawhi hitting an open three, because as I said, we came out sluggish. But then you put these guys in, right? And DG is very rusty, as I said. He got trapped on the sideline and stepped out of bounds. So out of nowhere, he came in and had 3 turnovers, right away. 5 turnovers in the first quarter between Bennedict Mathurin and Darius Garland collectively, and 7 overall as a team. So it couldn't have been a worse first quarter, to be honest. We were down 31-19, and there was only a 1-point deficit when Darius Garland, Bennedict Mathurin, and Yanic came in. And Yanic was just missing some finishes around the basket. But, man, it was brutal. Shout out to my man Hip to Clip with a super chat saying, let's go. Appreciate it. All members and super chats are able to be read in the chat. So appreciate those as always. But, man, very questionable threes being taken by a lot of our role players too in the first quarter. Like, I get we're trying to increase our volume with the threes, but we got to take good threes. And then when we went down 17, I was legitimately questioning if we even wanted to win anymore. We were lazy to everything, not moving around on offense at all. And granted, we are a more stagnant offense, but it was like the ball just wasn't moving. And then defensively, you know what the Warriors are going to do. You know they're going to be running a lot of off-ball screens. So you have to talk through all those. And they're one of the better teams in the league over the last like 15 years of when teams switch everything, the roller slips the screen. So then he gets that advantage. So if you're playing the Warriors and you're switching 1 through 4 or even 1 through 5, whatever it may be, you need to make sure when you're switching, you are switching and you are not lazily switching. You need to make sure you're getting to that body right after that screen, because the second they slip, you're a step behind, and then boom, you still get the same result as a short roll situation. So I don't think we were just ready to play, which I was a little bit insulted by in the first half as a fan, because I'm thinking, okay, we have Darius Garland back now. We're playing the Warriors, the team directly, like kind of that we're targeting to take over in the standings, who are the 8th seed right now. And we want to be that 8th seed. So we only have to win one playing game to make the playoffs. And we got to take it more seriously, especially on national television. We already got punked by them early in the season on NBC. So, you know, Darius Garland was just rusty. I have nothing to say about that. I thought that he still moved his feet well and was trying to play defense in that first half. And even Ben Mathurin, you know, he got lost a couple of times off ball, but I thought his defensive energy was good all game, but he wasn't playing well. The ball was stopping when it got to him. He was taking contested jumpers again. He was 1 for 5 to start the game. 1 for 5. He ended, shooting better than that. But at the time, he was not shooting well at all. And it was partially his shot selection, in my opinion. And Pods, I was just thinking to myself before the game, let's not have a surprise guy come out and whoop our ass. And Pods was that guy. He was knocking down threes. He was cutting to the basket, cutting. Like there was one time where Darius Garland just got back cut easily by Pods. I don't even want to say easily. It was a nice cut. And he was just finding ways to score. He was taking charges, just annoying the shit out of me. So in the second quarter, we got outscored 25-23, and we're down 56-42 at the half. 56-42. And all I could think was, I wasn't giving up, but we had to just play harder. Where's our intensity? Where is we got to win this game. Every game counts. We got less than 25 games left in the season. And then we got to get I think we needed to do a better job of getting Kawhi the ball more, at halftime. That's what I was thinking. Because and Kawhi's got to work a little bit harder without the ball too. He doesn't really move much without the ball. You can't just allow somebody to deny you. You got to fight a little bit harder. Maybe we should set some off-ball screens to get him on the move. And I think Benedict Mathurin, had to take better shots, and hopefully DG would grow into the game and we could get some stops. Then we can get out and transition a little bit. But so, a lot of those things did end up happening, thankfully, in the second half. And it all began with our energy, you know what I mean? Our intensity defensively. We were getting into guys more. We were fighting harder on closeouts, just playing with a heightened level of focus, of a little bit of desperation. And we were contesting shots better. And also they were just missing shots. Moses Moody was knocking down threes in the first half. In the second half, he cooled down. DeAnthony Melton, he hit a 3 in the first half. Cooled down. These guys ended up cooling down. I'm pretty sure another one was Quentin Post. He hit a 3 in the first half, cooled down. So it's two things. It can be the Warriors cooling down and also us adding a level of defensive intensity and just overall effort that we did not have in the first half. For example, the Warriors, actually, no, I thought NBA's box scores were going to be available, but I guess not. Still lagging on that shit because I like the quarter-to-quarter breakdown that they offer. But anyway, so they're being bots over there on NBA.com. Fix that shit. But anyway, down by 14 at half, we come out with better energy, as I said, on ball and off. Dubs start missing threes, and Kawhi starts getting more aggressive. He starts asking for less screens because what's going to happen is the second that Kawhi asks for a screen, they're going to blitz. They're going to double. They're going to try to force the ball out of his hands. If we want Kawhi Leonard to get more shots, because he had only taken 6 in the first half, we need to honestly say, fuck the screen, let Kawhi go one-on-one. and that's what we did more of. And I also thought Kawhi did a better job of working quicker off the catch because he knew that if he waited too long, they were going to double him. Before I continue, that's going to conclude the Twitter portion of this live. So if you still want to listen, come over to YouTube. That's where I make my bread. We're trying to get to 14,000 subscribers. Let me know. And also, it's also a good chance to mention the members of this channel. If you're a member of this channel and you attend games, you can skip the line for interviews at games. You'll also be entitled to a members-only giveaway at 25 and 50 members, one for Laker fans, one for Clipper fans for each. And we do a once-a-week members-only live where you can come on stage, debate or ask any question to me, or request film of any player in the last 25 years. And of course, you can ask me any question, and we can talk about other teams around the league and other sports as well. So that's once a week, usually Wednesdays. This week, I will probably be doing it on Wednesday afternoon. I think that's what I'm looking to target. But hey, I wanted to ask a question too before I continued. I've been asking about why the vlogs have not been viewed as much this year. I have 412 views only on the last one, which is crazy. Even though we lost, it was a good game. 917 on the Nuggets game. That was it was my favorite game of the season. And then obviously the Terrence Mann return I posted 2 days late, but only has 306 views. And then the Jaylen Brown 50-point game one has 809. I only say that because last season we had 1,000+ views in every single vlog. So I'm just wondering, should I do anything differently? Do you want me to do something differently? Somebody suggested get a thumbnail for each one because I love the content, but it'll stand out more. And I agree that's a good suggestion. So if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comment section because I want to do whatever's best for the fans. You know, I try to get Clipper fans experience at the games. Maybe you want me to shorten the interviews. Maybe you want me to post them separately. Maybe you want me to film less game footage of the first half. I don't know. Just let me know. But anyway, let's continue, right? So in the second half, Kawhi was more aggressive, getting to it. And then Darius Garland hitting that pull-up three. Man, that was because they were pretty much hedging on the ball screens with DG and not letting him come off for threes. Then one of the few times that they did drop, he came off and pulled and drained it. And that's when I was like, okay, Darius Garland's here now. Because that's very Darius Garland. He's just coming off a screen, popping that three. I thought a couple of times, like, the one thing about Darius Garland that I'm not going to like is that he's a little bit too, like his shot diet involves too many threes for me personally. But the thing is, we kind of need a guy that's a little bit higher 3-point volume with the squad we have now. I just still believe that off the dribble threes are not great shots for any NBA player, contested ones. I just don't think they are. I mean, the best player I think ever when it comes to contested off the dribble threes would probably be Kevin Durant, just because of the size he has to get off pretty much a clean look no matter who is guarding him. But, you know, I just don't think those are very easy shots. And I think Darius Garland at times was a little hesitant to go to the rim tonight. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's just come back from injury, most likely. But, like, there were a lot of times where he was dribbling and he was kind of hardening the game. Like, not the game, but had some possessions where he was doing, like, the player that was guarding him was playing the crossover and he was crossing over and getting stripped. Just pick a side and go. One between the legs and just go. I doubt they'll be able to stay in front without fouling. So I just thought he was overcomplicating things a bit. And that's one thing that's a real big problem in youth basketball too, is a lot of guys just overcomplicate their shit and think a bunch of handles. And I used to be like this too. That's why I'm saying it. Is a bunch of handles going to get everybody excited. Just be effective with it. If they can't stay in front of you, like without fouling, you know, they're going to try to play the crossover to try to get a steal. Just blow by. Just make a move and go. You know, and I thought DG at times was dilly-dallying a little too much with the ball. Same with Ben Mathurin to a large extent. And Ben Mathurin, I'm going to say this. When he played those first two games against Houston and then that game against Denver, he was driving and looking to kick. Right now, he's like not passing. Like I'd be shocked if he passed more than 5 times in that game tonight. And it's not going to be good enough because he's not, first of all, nobody should be a ball hog in the NBA. Secondly, he's not the best player on the team. So I love the confidence, but he needs to realize that if you're just going to be a black hole when you get the ball, then you're going to get limited and to some degree. He needs to, I mean, with the way he can get 2 feet in the paint, he's got to drive and kick. And even on fast breaks, you know, he's playing off 1 foot so much and getting a lot of offensive fouls. He's got to, you know, sometimes just come to a full-on jump stop and at least play off 2 feet a little bit because he's getting stuck in the air a lot. But look, I still think Benny, the way he's defending and the way that he is, you know, the effort that he's playing with and adding another ball handler is very important for our team, especially just given, you know, that we lack that. But yeah, Darius Garland made that three. And then right after that, Chris Dunn had a steal and dunk. And it was his first of 2 interceptions in the second half where he shot the gap. And it was a risky play. It was a risky play on the ball because he was leaving his man to do it. But he got the steal both times and it led to buckets. And he, I thought Darius Garland was doing a solid job defensively, helping from the weak side. He had one really nice dig into the post and then recover back to the 3-point shot and got a hand up. So his effort defensively was pretty solid. He's got his limitations size-wise. If we're going to switch a lot, they're going to target him at times. But I really do think as long as he plays with higher defensive effort than James Harden, I will be satisfied for sure. And he definitely looked like that tonight. And then towards the end of the third quarter, just as we're starting to get right back in it, Yanic was drawing fouls around the basket, which was nice, just being a vertical threat, somebody who can just be there for putbacks. So in the third quarter, after we had been down by 14 to start it, actually, we were down at one point by 16 to start it, 42-58. We slowly but surely got back in it. By the way, one big play I haven't even mentioned, Kobe Sanders getting an offensive rebound and then getting the 3-ball back to make it a 10-point game. That was a big bucket. And then Brook Lopez also hitting like a turnaround over Al Horford in the post. I thought that was fairly impressive as well because I was thinking to myself when he was doing it, I was like, why are we going to Brook Lopez in the post against a good post defender? Like I get it against mismatches and smaller guys, but he hit it. And then it was really like the last 6 minutes of the third where we kind of got back in it because we were down 71-59 with 5:45 to go in the third. And then Darius Garland had a tip in. Kawhi had a 10-foot fadeaway to make it an 8-point game. And then Kawhi made 2 free throws. And then Garland's 3 made it a 5-point game. And that's when we really started, the Garland 3 and then the Chris Dunn interception. That's when we got them to call timeout. We were only down by 3. And I was like, okay, here come the Clippers. And we were able to end the quarter on a high note, getting to the free throw line a little bit. Ben Mathurin and then Yanic Niederhauser with 4 straight free throws. Or actually, no, 6 free throws in the last 2 minutes of the quarter. So we'll take that. And so we outscored the Warriors 35-23 in the third. And it's great to see, again, I know I've mentioned this a ton in this last 30-game stretch, but it's great to see us outscoring teams consistently in the third quarter. Now that because in the beginning of the season, we were so putrid in third quarters. Reading a comment, I know it's not a super chat, but I just wanted to read it. Interviews separate could be a good thing for vlogs, shorter form, just game environment, and clips from the wall might do well, and then interviews in their own video. Yeah, I've thought about that for a while, so I wonder. But yeah, so in the third quarter, going into the fourth, all I was thinking was if Kawhi takes us home and we take care of the ball, we don't have any miscommunications on our switches, and we rebound, we're going to come away with this victory. And the fourth quarter was a thing of beauty. A quarter in which we outscored the Warriors 37-22. In the second half, we outscored them 72-45. It was a complete domination in the second half, and it was a total team effort, Chris Dunn beginning the fourth quarter with a go-ahead 3. That gave us our first lead since 16-17 in the first quarter. Then Chris Dunn shoots the gap again, gets a steal and lays it in. Then you have a double block possession, Jordan Miller and Yanic, which leads to a Miller floater. Then Ben Mathurin on the fast break takes the bump. He's on the way down, finds a way to bank it in, all without Kawhi Leonard. Timeout Golden State when it's 88-81 now us, and that's when I knew we were going to ride this out and win it because our young guys started getting into it. Darius Garland started getting more comfortable, but it all starts with Kawhi Leonard and his aggression, added aggression in the second half, but also just whatever switch was flipped at halftime. We can't come out in a lot of games against better teams, and of course the Warriors are very injured right now, but come out and bullshit like that in the first half and expect to turn it around. I know it wasn't just all a lack of effort, but there was, we got called out by the broadcasters and the studio hosts for our lack of effort. And I bet you, and I was watching on national television just because I wanted to see the national angle tonight, but I bet you Brian Seaman and Jim Jackson probably said something about it too, because anybody with 2 eyes could see that we did not come correct in that first half. But I love the way we turned it around. Our young guys were super involved. Chris Dunn is this energizing leader in terms of our intensity that just sets a tone. And then you can say whatever you want about Derrick Jones Jr. I tweeted this, but that dude moves his freaking feet, man. That dude moves his freaking feet. And Yanic, I mean, the way he started, like he's had one almost poster like the last 5 games, it feels like. I'm just ready for him to actually throw it down on someone, and it's going to be an absolute highlight that's going to be spread everywhere. But he's just continuing to improve, and I love seeing him, play at this kind of a consistency, have this kind of a have this role. So, you know, it's I'm really happy seeing it. And we were able to ride off into the sunset after that. Yanic did a really solid job hedging on screens, getting some deflections. And then he had another block that led to a Ben Matherin and one. And we basically cruised to the end with the win. I thought Jordan Miller was really good as well. 114 to 101 is the final. As I mentioned, 37-22 in favor of us in the fourth. Brandon Pajimski had 20 points at halftime and only ended with 22 points in the game. We move on now to 29-31, and the Warriors are 31-30. So we're coming. We're creeping up, and it was a much-needed victory, and I love the way we played in the second half. It was truly a joy. So Darius Garland's first game as a Clipper ends in a win, 114 to 101 at Chase Center. We finished shooting 49% from the field after the way we shot in the first half. Oh, my God. They shot 39% in the game. They shot 35% from three. We went back to shooting like trash from three. But I think a lot of the three-point attempts weren't good looks. We're just jacking. We need to stay with, shooting the right threes. When you have a chance to attack a closeout and you can get by your defender and instead you just choose to kick it out because we're not going to get a three or a layup, that's just bullshit to me. 29% from three for us, 35 for them, 71% from the free throw line for them, 91 for us, the best free throw shooting team in basketball this season. We were 21 and 23 from the line, 91%. And yeah, let's read the lines for the Warriors. They played really a 9-man rotation. Quentin Post played 12 minutes. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and no turnovers on 4 for 8 shooting and 1 for 3 from deep. I'm not watching the game from a Warriors perspective, but I wonder why he didn't play more, because he actually was pretty effective in his minutes and was a +5 in those 12 minutes. And then you had Pat Spencer, who had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and a turnover on 3 for 8 shooting, 1 for 4 from downtown, and made both his free throws in 21 minutes. He was decent. And then you had Nate Williams, who I was very impressed by. I'd never seen him play before, but he went to Buffalo, and he's in his 3rd season, played with the Blazers a bit in 2023, and then played with the Rockets a bit, and I'd never heard of him at all. He's 27 years old, and he had a hell of a game. 18 points, 2 boards, 2 dimes, 1 steal, and 1 turnover on 5 for 8 shooting and 3 for 4 from 3, and was 5 for 6 from the free throw line. So pretty impressive overall showing from Nate Williams. And then so he was the highest scoring player off the bench for the Warriors, but the highest minute getter off the bench for the Warriors was Guy Santos, who had 5 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 turnovers, but shot just 2 for 8 from the field and 1 for 3 from downtown. Then the starters, no one scored over 22 points. Pods ended up scoring the most. Moses Moody had 10 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 turnover, and was 4 for 12 from the field and 2 for 8 from 3. Had a lot of open threes. If I'm not mistaken, both of them came in the first half, but I could be wrong. And he cooled down, and that was big for us. That was big for us. And then DeAnthony Melton, he did not shoot well at all either. Between he and Moses Moody, they were 7 for 26. DeAnthony Melton, 7 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers on 3 for 14 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3 for the former USC Trojan. And then Al Horford, good to see him. I think this probably will be his last season. 17 points for him, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and no turnovers on 5 for 11 shooting, 4 for 8 from downtown, and 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Big Al having his lowest scoring season of his entire career this year. And he's shooting his worst three-point percentage since 2021-22 at just 36%. But he played well in this game, I'll say that. And then Draymond, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 3 turnovers on 1 for 5 shooting, and all his shots were threes, and was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He was a team worst minus 18 in 31 minutes and a game worst minus 18 in 31 minutes. A nice triple single for Mr. Draymond. Oh, baby. Shout out to my members, Shaft 9000. Sup, fam? We got a whole new jam. Let's go, Clips. You already know Shaft 9000. Shout out to you, my member. And ding, ding, ding. We've got a new member. Derek, my man, Lee, is a new member of the channel. And this is really, really special because Derek actually is a frequent guy that comes to post-game interviews, and now he'll be able to skip the line. So shout out to Derek. If you guys recognize him from the videos, give him a hi in the comment section. But hey, big time when now we're going to shift the scene. Oh, Brandon Pajimski, last Warrior to talk about here. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers on 9 for 18 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. The main thing is that Pods did not even really get shots off in the second half. We were able to actually show more resistance on ball screens with him, not just letting him walk into shit, and just being more aware of what he was doing out on the court in that second half. Shaft 9000 says DJ plus Conan plus Jay-Z, JC, serve him up, DG. It's the new Lob City. Was that like trying to be a rhyme there? But man, now let's read the lines for the good guys. You really Clippers. Still, where's Eric Smith? I'm still wondering. But here we go. So, Clippers. 9-man rotation. Actually, really a 10-man rotation because Nico did play 6 minutes. Only 6 minutes for Nico. Only 6 minutes. And he had a donut in every statistical category, except he took 1 3 and missed it. So not the same kind of game he had against New Orleans last night, but hey, we won. There's not much to say. He played 6 minutes and was a -9. Then we had only a 22-minute game from Kobe Sanders, but I thought he was really solid, knocking down his open shots and playing solid defense as well. I mean, it's just going to be tough because when John Collins comes back, Kobe Sanders is kind of the odd man out. But, he's good, man. He's good. He knocks down shots. He makes his open threes. He can make contested shots at the end of the shot clock. He plays solid defense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't I don't see who else you would take out of the rotation. Maybe Nico. I would definitely take out Nico before I took out Jordan. But I don't know. Nico's experience is invaluable and his switchability. But Kobe Sanders, I thought, was good tonight. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, no turnovers. Finds a way to get his hands on offensive rebounds as well. And he shot 3 for 5 from the field and 2 for 3 from downtown. So 60, 66 splits. You'll take that all day long from him. And then Yanic almost had a double-double. 11 points, 9 boards, 2 steals and 4 blocks, and no turnovers on 3 for 6 shooting and 5 for 6 in the foul line. It was a Yanic boom in Golden State tonight. It was a fantastic performance, I thought, from Yanic in the second half. Was active, was around the basket, was getting fouled, was blocking shots. I mean, I love seeing him progress. I love seeing his journey, and I'm just very, very happy with it. I might get a Yanic jersey next year. Who knows? I'm leaning towards it. And then let's talk about DG. The turnovers were bad, and several of them were him just losing the ball with his handle, which is not something that you expect with a guy with that tight of a handle. So he's just got to, again, pick a side and go. He's rusty. He had that nice step back for a sec. He missed the shot, but he had Guy Santos on ice skates. So you saw some glimpses there. I don't know how long this bench experiment's going to go on. I think he should just get started already. But 12 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 5 turnovers for DG on 4 for 9 shooting. So not too bad in the end. Was 2 for 7 from 3. So he made both of his shots inside the arc. One was a tip in and the other was a floater where he thought he got fouled and still swished it. So again, get inside the arc. Don't rely too much on the 3-ball because only one of those threes, actually 2, the pull-up one was open. The other 5 were not easy shots. But I thought it was a below average debut, but it ended up finishing better than it started, and that's important. Shaft 9000 says Chris Dunn for team president. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just, how can you not love that guy if you're a Clipper fan? Let's talk about Derek Jones Jr. and Brook Lopez next. Brook Lopez was okay. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 3 for 8 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. Part of the reason why we could not score in the first half was because Brook Lopez was, again, breaking his threes. But I don't know. It is what it is. You kind of have to expect it from Brook Lopez at this point. And then you've got Derek Jones Jr. Look, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. The guy was the guy was the guy was great defensively, even though he could not hit a shot. 2 for 12 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. And was what? Let me see. 5 for 6 from the line. So he still found a way to get to the line. And as I said, he always plays good defense. So, yeah. I think it was a pretty solid performance overall. Just, the rebounding was tough, but making an impact defensively. 9.6 boards, as I said. Then you have Jordan Miller, who just continues to be great. Really great. Another double-figure scoring night for him. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 1 turnover on 5 for 6 shooting and made both his free throws. The guy is finding a way to get 2 feet in the paint, finish through contact, and he's bringing it consistently. And how about the 6 rebounds, too? Getting in on the glass. We needed rebounding. That's now 5 straight games of double-figure points for Jordan. So he's kind of getting back to it. And he's been more consistent than a Benedict Mathurin, which brings me to Benedict Mathurin. 31 minutes played, the most of any Clipper in the rotation tonight. Ended with 17 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and 4 turnovers on an efficient 6 for 13 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and made all 5 of his free throws. And again, for me with Ben, I think if he just gets away from shooting these contested threes off the dribble or just contested threes in general, and honestly, maybe even contested jumpers in general. I don't know how good of a shooter he is on those. When he gets downhill and just plays off closeouts, he's lethal. He gets to the line. He was 6 for 7 from inside the arc tonight. I think it's just maybe he's not as good of a three-point shooter as he might think or, that people would want. But I'll take 17 points and 7 rebounds. Talk about 7 rebounds. We needed help on the glass. We ended up actually winning the rebound battle 52-40 and tied in the offensive rebound department. But 5 of them are from Derek Jones Jr., who will miss his shot. And then his second jump is so quick, he'll get a hand on it again. So he was the only guy on the team that had more than 2 offensive rebounds for us out of 15 that we got. But yeah, I thought Benedict Mathurin overall ended up having a good second half and was part of the reason why we ended up taking over this game. Derek said Brook did take it inside in the second half. Yeah, he had that nice post up. A mini monster line from Yanic in 21 minutes. 6 stocks near W-dub, says Shaft 9000. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And then last but not least, my player of the game. Actually, no. Oof. Okay. I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard, 23 points, 8 rebounds. I think that's his second straight 23-point game. Yeah, it is. 23 points for Kawhi on 9 for 14 shooting, 3 for 6 from three. So highly efficient when he did get those shots up. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. The Warriors did as well of a job as you could in terms of preventing him from getting the ball and getting shots up, but he still had 23, 8, and 4 assists to go along with 2 steals and just 1 turnover in 29 minutes. I mean, the minutes restriction thing is a little much. Like, I don't know. The minutes restriction thing is a little much. I get it was the second out of a back-to-back and it didn't matter in the end, but I just am a little bit nervous about Kawhi getting limited in games going forward when we need to win. And in this game, we got our 29th win of the season. We're now 29-31 through 60 games, 22 games left. My player of the game tonight, though, was Chris Dunn. The way he turned around the game in the second half, he had 16 points, 7 boards, 7 dimes, a near triple-double to go along with 2 steals that both came in the second half and led to 4 points. 1 turnover on 70% shooting, 7 for 10. And I say this all the time. When Chris Dunn is making his threes at the level that he's making them this season, 2 for 4 from 3 in this game, he's one of the best role players in the league. All that in 26 minutes. He had the highest plus minus of any Clipper with a plus 18. Kawhi right behind him with a plus 16. And then how about Jordan Miller with a plus 15? And then Ben Mathurin plus 12, Yanic plus 10, and Garland plus 5 after starting like shit. That's how you turn a game around, Clipper Nation. I couldn't be more positive about this team right now. You know, Mr. Positive is having a great time. Tonight was the first game I watched live that I didn't attend since, let me see. Didn't watch the Pelicans game live. Did not watch the Orlando game live. Didn't watch the full Laker game live. I just watched the end of it live. I didn't watch the Rockets games live either. Damn. Didn't watch the Minnesota game live. Didn't watch the Sacramento game live. Didn't watch the Phoenix game live. Didn't watch the Denver game live. Oh my God, this is crazy. Definitely didn't watch the Utah game live. The Nets game I was at. Didn't watch the Laker game live. Didn't watch the Bulls game live. Oh my God. Wow. It's been like the Washington Wizards game. I was at that game, I believe. Yeah, I was. Hornets. I didn't go to that game. That was on the day that we played Sierra Canyon. At Detroit. I think that might have been the last game I watched live. No, a Saturday? There's no. Oh, yeah, it was. That's the last game I watched live was at Detroit on Saturday, January 10th. Like, it's been that long. So to be able to sit in front of my couch or sit on my couch in front of my TV and watch the game, not knowing what was going to happen and just being into it on every possession, I think that was really special. And I'm just so happy to feel like a fan again, you know, a content creator that is a fan, not someone that's like getting paid to do this or like it's a chore. Yes, Derek, you know it. Mr. Positive is here. Oh, don't even respond to that guy, Shat 9000. He's old news. He's in Cleveland with in factory land right now. I'm in Garland right now. And I think it's only going to get better for DG. And guess what? Pacers Wednesday. And guess who's going to be in the building getting a vlog of that debut? And if that doesn't reach 1,000, Zoo's return and Garland's first game as a Clipper, I wonder if you guys are even fans of the Clippers or me. So I don't know. A great win, man. I'm really excited about what's to come. 60 games in. We got 22 games left, and most of them are coming at home. I'm excited for Darius Garland on Wednesday. And as far as like Zoo goes, he hasn't played, has he? He's not going to play. Yeah, he's not going to play. Why is everybody talking about that? We'll see. I doubt Zoo's going to play. He's going to still get a tribute video or something. Anyway. Peace, everybody. Go Clippers. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're not watching the vlogs for whatever reason, let me know. Because 1,000 people watched the live last night. And I didn't even go live at the exact time that like the game just ended. 72 people are in here right now. That's good. But if you guys are clearly messing with the lives, I think the vlogs are more unique content. But I know you guys like hearing me talk. And it's other people talking in that, which I'm kind of joking around with, but like maybe not really. Because you guys are subscribed to me, not them. But my goal for the vlogs one day is that fans will recognize these other people at games. Because the Clippers are the best fans in the world. They're so optimistic. They're so loyal. I just want to showcase that. Clippers have fans. We got a lot. We got some of the most loyal fans in fucking basketball, and I try to show that every single day. So peace out, everybody. Go Clips. Big win. Darius Garland, welcome to the Clippers. I'm enjoying it. Go Clips. All right, guys. Members only live on Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday live. Let's go 3 o'clock Pacific. 3 o'clock Pacific. We'll go live. So if you remember, tap in. And you also, if you remember, you also get my post-game lives for the playoffs last year. So, yep. Peace. Go Clips.